So you might get entertainment more than one way, but hey, we don't charge extra for it. Let's just put it that way. I'm going to bring you guys on up. I am actually live on Facebook. Hello, Facebook friends, and on YouTube. So if you are on either one of those platforms, please note that I'm also on either one. YouTube, you can find me on YouTube, Facebook. I'm on TikTok, but not a lot. I'm not an Instagram girl. Just gonna be honest with you. Oh, how many of you actually hang out on Instagram? Let me know in the comments. Most of all, let me know where you're from. Oh, there you all are. I love it. Hey, Kendera, how are you? Good to see you. All right. Heather is in the background. She's actually going to put a link to this wreath kit of the month. And oh, there it is. Yes. So I will tell you that at the time that we're going live, if you're watching live right now, you'll see that little live red button in one of the corners. There's only, what, 5? Maybe 4 or 5 of these kits left. Yes. Because we have a limited supply of them, and when they're gone, they're gone. That's it. We don't get any more. They will never come back. So if you want this one, hey Blanche, how many of you are excited about Etsy Made Easy tomorrow? Hey Barbara, good to see you. Hey Shelly, hello, hello. Good to see you. You guys get to give me serenade. All right, so wreath kit of the month, that's what we're gonna work on. And we did a little prep work today, so it won't be a super tedious. Thank you, Heather. You're welcome. Thank you. You too. Hey, Heather, would you ask Gary if maybe you take it outside? Maybe Gary will take it outside. I know that seems wrong, but it's distracting for me. And sometimes Facebook can be wonky. If you're playing music in the background, they'll mark your video as copyrighted. You know, I have to share. I can't be using someone else's music on my live, and sometimes he sounds like the original artist. So, hello, happy Friday, Trisha. All right, so you guys have been telling me, hey, I got my wreath kit. If you belong to the wreath kit of the month, you should have your kit already. If not, it's really close. If you're watching on YouTube and you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, every month, I have a subscription where you can get a new wreath kit every month. This month is all about Halloween. So every month is a different theme, a different season, a different whatever. It is a reoccurring subscription, and I promise that you get an amazing price. Because it is a subscription and you're like a repeat buyer, I give you a really good price. So this wreath kit alone, that comes with the frame. It comes with our 10-inch aluminum UV protected metal sign. It comes with this cute Halloween pick. How many of you have seen that already? Beth, good morning. Good morning. You must be out on the West Coast. That's right, you are, aren't you? You also get 2 rolls of mesh. You get this, oh, help me out, Stephanie. The vertical stripe mesh and a roll of orange mesh, which I already have cut up. So you get 2 rolls of mesh with this. You get 3 rolls of ribbon with this kit. And I'm about to show you my version of the August wreath kit of the month. Can't wait. I can't. Vicki, good to see you. All right, friends. I can't wait. So let's bring you down here on the table. If it's your first time joining me, welcome. My name is Stephanie Williams. I'm the owner of Festive Creations. And something new, if you want Facebook to notify you when I go live, just simply type in the comments, ! notify, no spaces, ! notify. And it's a newer feature that I just turned on Facebook. And if you watched me yesterday, I thought I had it turned on and it didn't, it wasn't. So it should work for you today. just exclamation point, notify in the comments, and Facebook will then start notifying you when I go live. Okay? All right. You'll now, oh, there you go. I see it. I see it. It's working. It's working. Yay. Teresa, she's got the notifications. Yep. You'll now get notifications when Festive Creation goes live. Perfect. Let's come down here on the table. So we're going to start with, this kit comes with the 15-inch wire frame and 2 rolls of mesh. We're going to, this striped mesh is very open. It has a wider weave to it. And this one will fray a lot. So I try to not cut this as little as possible. Have you ever, or did you know that you can do a poof method using this mesh? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use a poof method. Pam Hopwood, yes, Hoppy, I am going to be at Apple and Pork. The same spot I was at last year, except I doubled it. I now have 2 spots instead of 1. All right, so what I'm going to do is I've got this folded over. Oh, Hoppy, I'm also going to be at the Macon County Fairgrounds for their Harvest Festival, October 4th, 5th, and 6th. All right, so you fold it over, your raw edge right here, and we're just going to gather that up, and we're going to make a small poof, This part is going to go inside of the wire frame right here, and we're going to give it a couple of good twists. Hoppy, I know. I have a new snowman one that I have in mind just for you, girl. Just for you. Much for that as well. Yes, girl. So now I'm going to take my mesh and I'm going to skip this one, but I'm going to measure out. I'm going to come right over here, measure to right there. So I'm going to skip that and measure here, gather it up, and then come back and push it right into that one. I'm going to repeat that. So hold tight, please. Hold tight. Cash or check, Pam, you know, and you know me, I'll take a debit card, link. No, I'm just kidding, you friends. Debbie or Pam and I have known each other for years and years and years, so I'm just joking with her. No link. Please do not send me link. Though I don't know, though. It might not be a bad idea with the way grocery prices are and now having a family of 4 instead of family of 2. So look how pretty this is. If my poof doesn't set the way I want, I just stick my fist in there, kind of give it a little body. All right, this time I'm going to slow down again. Slow down one more time. Did you all see our feature sign? We need to get that ready. All right, so I'm going to skip past this one and jump over to this one. Skip past here. Measure it right there. Gather it. Push it back to this one. And twist it. There you have it. So we're just making a poof all the way around the top. Once I get around that, all the way around the top, I'll stop and tell you how we're going to transition to the bottom. It's that easy. If you've never done a poof, watch. But remember, this kit comes with 2 rolls of mesh. So this is only one of the layers of mesh. Get my hand in there. Like I said, if it doesn't poof out the way I want, I just stick my fist up in there. It makes it fun. How many of you have started making Halloween, or do you make Halloween? Y'all, it's my favorite. When the fairgrounds, they actually asked me to be a vendor. They sought me out. They're like, Stephanie, we really want you and your wreaths and your designs there. And I was like, it's a 3-day event. So okay. So I've got tons of Halloween. I'm a Halloween girl. So I love fall and Halloween. I think probably more than Christmas. Yes, I said it. I said it. I probably like it more than Christmas. So I was excited. I actually bought Friends, I will tell you, think outside of the box when you're out shopping. I was at Big Lots and they had their summer clearance and they had a plant stand, an outdoor plant stand that's all black. It's made out of wrought iron, and it has a black metal bucket in it. I immediately thought Halloween. It's a summer plant stand. It's 50% off. And I was like, oh, yes, there's a cauldron for me. Wouldn't that be fun to put, I said dry ice, but Heather said she has a machine that's made to go inside of cauldrons. And I'm going to have make that effect, that smoke effect out of it. So, super, super excited about that. You know, think outside the box when you're out shopping. And I like to take advantage of those kind of clearance things and see. It's just like that centerpiece I showed you the other day that I made. And that base on it was in the spring and floral shop. Okay, so we're down to the last one here. So this is where we started. I'm going to do one more poof and put it where we started. Make sure you guys can see. Not more than Christmas. Oh, yes, Teresa. More than Christmas. Absolutely. I don't know. I think maybe I just get so overwhelmed at Christmas. I don't know. When do you do the rolled method? What are the lengths of the outside and the inside? Edith, are you talking about the poof method right here? So it's going to depend on the size of the frame that you use. That's why I gave you instructions. If you just joined us, let me show you the instructions. I'll go back and tell you. But let me finish this. So we went in and we did one last poof on the top row. Now I'm just going to make this real thin. I'm just going to make and come down and give me one little twist in the bottom where we're going to start. So to measure, it doesn't matter what size frame you have, just take your mesh, come here, go past it, go to the next one, and measure right there. Gather it up in your hands, and come on back. Actually, that one's going to come out a little bit too big, so I'm going to bring it back a little. And there's your poof. So I use the ties, the twist ties to measure. Because, Edith, you might be using a 24-inch frame or a 10-inch frame. I don't know. But for this one, this 15-inch frame, if you use that method, you don't need a ruler. Just go to this twist tie, pass it up, go to the next one. That's your length. Come back and push it together. Push it in the previous one. And there's your poof. Hopefully that made sense to you. Shelly, I can appreciate, and I'm not saying I don't like Christmas. I just say that they're my favorite. Halloween and fall are my favorite. Gary loves to decorate for Halloween, so that's always fun too. Absolutely. Yes, for those of you who know the rolled method, how many inches are they cut? Edith, so again, if you're talking about like a ruffle method, it's going to depend on your frame. Okay, so let me help you out. Edith and anybody else that's trying to learn how to cut. So it's a math problem, right? So one roll of mesh, this mesh is 10 yards. That's 360 inches, right? So 360 inches of mesh. I take my frame and I count how many twist ties are on there. So if I have a 10-inch frame, I probably only have 12 twist ties. If I have a bigger frame, I might have 24 twist ties. So 360 inches divided by however many twist ties you have. That will give you your number. It's just a simple math. My son loves Halloween, Shelly. He's a man after my own heart. Let's go back down here. All right. So, actually for this one, Edith, we're using 2 different methods. Watch this. So this poof method on the bottom, on the base of the frame. And then we're going to come back in and we're going to add some rolls. So a lot of times I use what's called the ruffle, scruffle, cruffle, woodland ruffle method. There's all names, whatever you want to call it. And a lot of times that's the technique I use. But for this particular mesh, I don't like to cut it. I don't like to do multiple cuts. So that's why I use the poof method for this one. For this kit, I've went ahead and done some pre-cutting for our ribbon and our next mesh, just to kind of save a little time for you all and me. Etsy Made Easy starts on Sunday, so I'm behind the scenes trying to get all of the prep work done for that. The kids start school next week, and Emma has her first cheerleading event tomorrow. It's all day, and I just found out last night that she needs a different color of undergarment to go under her cheer. Oh my goodness, the coach is like, we really want to have a navy blue. And I'm like, really? Tell me the night before. I love that. Yes, yes. So we're going to do an impromptu shopping trip. It's not a big one. Not a big one. Okay. It's life, right? For those of you that don't know who Emma is, that is my great niece. My great niece and great nephew live with us. We have custody of them. So, yes, I might look to be a little bit old to have grandchildren. Girl, Karen, I wish I had your ambition. I'm glad that you're here. Maybe you can give me some motivation and inspiration to get up and get to the gym myself. All right, look how full this is already. By the way, it will not use an entire roll of mesh for this size frame. And again, everything that I'm using today comes in the Wreath Kit of the Month. So everything, all the equipment now, obviously I'm going to be using things like a bow maker and scissors. Those don't come with it. But this kit does come with the 2 rolls of mesh, the frame, the sign. Look at our sign. 3 rolls of ribbon, and our fun Halloween hat pick. That's super fun. All right. And for those of you just joining, if you want Facebook to notify you when I am live, just simply type the word or type exclamation point, notify, no spaces, exclamation point, notify, and put that in the comments, and Facebook will start notifying you when I go live. All right, so I'm down to the end. We have 1 more to go. So what I did is I cut this one a little extra long because I want to fold it under and put that raw edge right here. A little bit bigger fold so that my raw edge is always on the inside, not facing outwards. See, Carrie's after a woman after my own heart. Good. I appreciate that, Carrie. Someone's on the Halloween team. And I will tell you what, Halloween does really well for me, not only locally, but on Etsy as well. I have chosen, though, not to list my Halloween and fall on Etsy because I am going to be participating in 2 huge markets back to back. So you will not see any new fall or Halloween on Etsy over the next several months. You just won't. Over the next several weeks, I guess I should say. All right, our base has been done. Now, remember I said it came with 2 rolls of mesh. Guess what I did with this one? Orange roll of mesh, I have cut 10-inch strips, and we're going to use 2 of those in each of our twist ties. So I'm just going to take that 10-inch strip and I'm going to let it roll itself in whatever way it goes. And I'm going to make a little curl just like that. We're going to put 2 of those in each of the twist ties. Now, I do like to make sure that the cut edge, the raw edge, is facing away from me. So it's on the bottom. We're going to take those and crisscross them. And we're going to start adding those into each twist tie. Just like that. Ta-da! Frank Team Halloween here also. Yes, yes, yes. Love to hear that. So we're going to do that all the way around. But before I do, I'm going to get my sign ready. I do not put holes in my signs because there are too many people like me that do not like to have holes in their signs. I use cable tie mounts that I keep in my shop. I actually sell those too on my website. But so what I do is I take my sign and I use a little bit of my DAP Rapid Fuse glue. So almost like super glue, but I think a little step above. And I will just put a dollop, a really tiny dot on my sign. 2, 3, 4. I like to do this a little bit ahead of time so that it can start curing and setting up. The orange will make it pop, Teresa. Absolutely. And then the cable tie mounts have like a wax paper backing to them. And then a piece of foam with adhesive. This adhesive won't hold. And if you live in a really hot, humid state, you may want to also outline these with some glue, hot glue. So I'm using DAP Rapid Fuse glue and then putting on my cable tie mounts, which is what they're called, so that they can cure while I'm there. I have a black Christmas tree, Halloween tree decorated, purple lights on. Going to remake my bows. Oh, Shelly, I want to see it when you're done. Yes, yes, yes. I bought a small black black tree, and I never did do anything with it. I don't even know where it's at. It's probably out in the she shed. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, so now that's going to set up while we add more of our orange. So that second roll of mesh, I cut in the 10-inch strips. Now we have a basket of 10-inch. All right, come on up here so I can see. Look, it's all nice and neat in a basket. That doesn't happen very often. Make your little curl. I'll bet it is, Shelly. And I love the colors. So later on this afternoon or this weekend, I'm going to try and make another grapevine one in the purple and black. We made that one on a live last week, I think. And now I need a purple and black. That'll go really well at my craft shows coming up, my vendor shows. What the heck are those kids doing? Uncle Gary's in charge. He's home. He can watch the kids while I'm live. So we have a total of 36 of these. So I cut them at 10 inches each. And there's a total of 36. So that 18 twist ties on my frame and 1 roll of mesh, 10 inches each, will allow me to put 2 in each twist tie. And like Teresa said, it's going to really pop on there. I'm really curious. I'm scared to know what them kids are doing. I might actually have to step out because that's scaring me. Okay, come on in. Wait a minute. Did I just see Mr. Spiker? Seriously? if you're on here, Mr. Spiker, I'm going to tell you. Joan, how do I find time to make so many wreaths for your shows while giving awesome service to us, taking care of the kids? Hey, Jode, I work hours. I work long hours. Right now I do. And keep in mind, too, that I have a full-time employee. I have a full-time employee that packs all your orders. Her role is transitioning since Jill is no longer with us. And so we're trying to divide and conquer some of Jill's tasks. But remember, there's two of me. But I am, you know, we do pack and ship a lot of orders every week, every day, every whatever. But she also helps out with, you know, making the signs, designing. She helps out with designing the signs. And just recently she started help listing items on my website. So that does help. But I'm not going to lie, like I've been up since 2:30 working on a few things, but I'm going to quit a little bit early because Emma needs some things for school that we didn't know. Shelly, I have a good friend of mine that lives locally, and he raised his two kids. Actually, you guys know them because they're our godchildren. They used to spend a lot of time with us, but you know, they're teenagers now and they don't have time for us old people. Marshall and Abby, and their dad the other day was like, Stephanie, you guys are doing a great job. And he raised his two kids by himself with the help of us. And we were a big support to him, trust me. But Heather is awesome. Absolutely, Jode. And she steps up and she just jumps in and does whatever needs to be done. That is absolutely true. Absolutely. We were just talking about the future of Festive Creations, you know, because someday I'd like to retire. Not in anywhere near future, but, you know, we're just looking at long-range plans and what's that going to look like for Festive Creations. I just asked her today if she'd like to go to Dallas with me next time for market. And I don't think she even took a breath in there. She was like, yes, I want to go. So she gets to go to Dallas with me in January. She'll be overwhelmed. I know the first time I went to a market, I was just flabbergasted and exhausted. And I didn't bring Tylenol. And I had been on my feet because it's all walking. I was on my feet for probably 12 hours straight. The only time I sat was to sit down and eat lunch. Crazy. Fun. I guess I missed it. What happened to Jill? Teresa, Jill actually took a job that was a lot closer to home. And I won't say a lot because she was driving a 45-minute commute to work every day. And actually her former employer reached out to her, and we all, you know, worked out an agreement together and a nice smooth transition. It was what was best for her and the kids, because, you know, she would have to drive one way, 15 minutes the opposite way to drop the kids off at daycare, then drive 45 minutes back here, then 45 minutes to go get the kids from daycare. And both of her kids are special needs. Her oldest one, Amia, my granddaughter Amia, is diagnosed with autism. And so she had her hands full. So this was great for her, and it worked out so well with her other employer. So it was a win-win situation. Trust me, I miss her. In fact, I texted her yesterday. I said, I'm not liking the fact that I don't get to talk to you. When's your next day off? I need to see my grandbabies. I need to see my grandbabies. To be that close and not be able to see them. Okay. All right, let me come down here on the table so you can kind of see how this is filling out. So that black and orange that we did as a base, now is filling out even more, but we have those hints of black and orange, right? It's not all black and orange, because when we get done here, we want this to pop out. We want it to stand out and have that nice little contrast. Girl, you know I do, Teresa. Thank you. Yeah, to be able to work with my daughter for 3 years. I mean, not too many moms can say that, right? Okay. We're just going to keep going around to the outer edge and get these curls in there. How many of you have started working on Christmas? Yay or nay? Have you started working on Christmas? Or are you like me and are deep into the fall and Halloween zone? Oh my goodness. There we go. I'm watching. I know it takes I've got one completed for Christmas, Teresa. Or is it? Yeah, Teresa. I was just looking. I've got a big pair of Santa boots I need to work on. When we do the shows, Teresa said, okay, when I do the vendor shows in late September, early October, it's always like a Russian roulette. You don't know what they're going to be buying. And it's usually an equal parts of fall, Halloween, and Christmas. It really is. It kind of is all three. So I have to have a nice little supply of all of them. The Wolf You America. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Jenny said, you're mixing it up. See, I can't. How do you do that, Jenny? My craft room isn't big enough to have my fall and Halloween and Christmas ribbon and attachments and all that fun stuff all together. Right now I have right outside my room, my craft room right here, I've got the floor covered with fall foliage and blooms and all kinds of stuff because I can't fit in here. Teresa, you're mixing it up also. You are better ladies than I am, let me tell you. Is there two there? No, okay. One, two, we're almost there. Yay. Okay, last one on. Put my basket down. All right, let's get this last one on here and then I will show you what our wreath looks like now that we added the curls. So we started out with the poof method with a 10-inch roll of mesh. We used most of the roll of mesh, but you will have some left over if you do it this way. Not about a third of it maybe left over. So that was on the bottom using the poof method. Then we've added 10-inch curls. We put 2 curls in each twist tie. Now we're going to add our ribbon tails. So for this particular wreath kit of the month, you get 3 rolls of ribbon. You're going to get a 2.5-inch roll of this fun Halloween. It's got purple, orange, black stripes in it. You're also going to get a 1.5-inch in that fine glitter in purple. And then you get a 2.5-inch with our witches hats. So what I chose to do is I'm going to make ribbon tails with these 2 colors before we add our sign. And then don't forget that this kit also comes with our fun witches hats. pick. So this one's a super fun pick. It has several different sections in it. And we're going to have fun adding that to our design today. You have them, or I see I do too, but they're in totes, but I just can't keep them all in here with me. It's just not big enough space. That's why I had to buy the she shed. Do you remember the she shed, Jenny? All right, so I'm going to take and dovetail. So all of the ribbon is cut at 12 inches. Let me see if I can put that directly in. All right, guys, I'm going to go check on the kids real quick because I need to. I can tell Gary's out on the back deck and the kids are out front. And if they're playing where I think they're playing, it might not be safe for them. So I just want to go check on them real quick. Can you hold down the fort for about 45 to 60 seconds? Please and thank you. I'll be right back. Yep, I still have it. It's called the Mother's Intuition. My intuition was correct. So in our garage is my car, Gary's motorcycle, and all of the fun things, right? We have an entire half an acre. We got all kinds of things outside to play with. Yes, do not play in the garage. You probably heard me tell him, don't play in the garage. Janice, it's actually your lucky day because we are still live. Still live. And don't forget, friends, if you, a new feature I just turned on here on my Facebook page is if you want Facebook to notify you when I'm going live, just type in the comments, ! notify, no spaces, ! notify. And then when I am live, Facebook will notify you that I'm live. I love that. Every now and then they come out. It's a feature that's been around for a little bit, but I have not turned it on until just this week. So I thought I had it turned on correctly yesterday, and apparently there was one more step I missed. Just one. All right, we're almost ready to start adding the tails. Let me finish dovetailing these. Might as well come up here and hang out. And then, like I said, right after this, I get to go get a few last minute things before Emma's first cheerleading event. She put on her cheerleading uniform today, and I just about cried. It looks so cute on her. And of course, she's this big. You know, she's like the size of a pencil. And it just looks, it made her look about 5 years older. And I was like, oh my gosh. I can't even. The last of the purple, and I think we'll do a few more of the glitter ones in this so we can get started on the ribbon tails. So for this one, I'm not sure yet if I'm going to make 1 or 2 bows, but it will have bows, a bow. But with our little witch's hat pick, I've got some fun visions for that. The wreath kit of the month is always the same price every month as long as you're a subscriber. And the value is always well over. So it's the wreath kit of the month is actually $52 a month. And you get some amazing stuff for that $52 a month. And you are always going to get a sign that's not available anywhere else. So we design every sign for our wreath kit of the month. It's exclusive just for the subscribers. So no worries about your neighbors having the same wreath, because unless your neighbor is a member of the wreath kit of the month, no one else is going to have that sign. Promise you that. Unless they stole it. I've actually seen some out of country, I'm not going to name any names, out of country companies that have taken my friends or my designs and are remaking them and calling them their designs. It's not new, y'all. You know, people have been plagiarizing designs and stealing designs for years and years and years. It's just easier now, with especially with artificial intelligence. And you got to actually kind of consider it a compliment that they liked your design so well that they took it and brought it to a whole new level, right? Shelly, I know, right? And Shelly, you said you got yours yesterday, your wreath kit? How fun. All right, so I am stacking that 2.5 inch and then putting that 1.5 inch right on top of it. And we're just gonna stick those, we're gonna start on the outer edge and put one in each twist tie all the way around. Awesome. Good deal. I can't wait to see, hey, yours or anybody else's. If you have one of my wreath kits, post a picture of it, anyone, online, and make sure you use the hashtag, oh, where is it? Festive Wreath Kit. Festive Wreath Kit. And then when if people search the hashtag Festive Wreath Kit, then they can see what your kit turned out to be like. Hashtag Festive Wreath Kit. If you're a member of the Wreath Kit of the Month, you actually have that information in your flyer every month. It says to tag us Festive Wreath Kit when you share your creation with the rest of the world. I was going to go live yesterday doing this, and then I realized that it was Thursday Fun Day. So at Festive Creations, Heather and I decided at the beginning of the summer that every Thursday afternoon, we would take off after lunch and we would do something with our kids. Because, you know, kids, it's tough on kids to be at home by themselves. You know, her kids are older, so, but, you know, spending a little bit of time, the summer break with our kids. And we really have had some fun times this summer. We've got one more Thursday before school gets back, and we're trying to figure out what we're going to do for that last Thursday. And it does depend on weather, but I shared a post yesterday where I talked about, well, we went to the rope courses yesterday, and I will tell you that Emma and Eli were petrified. They wanted to do the rope course until they got up on the rope course. So you wear a harness, and I'm loving this ribbon, by the way. You put on your harness, and then the rope is attached to like a little guide. So it's always attached. They went up to the first set of stairs and they both just froze. And so I'm down on the ground going, I need you to move. Move. So I finally got Eli to move. Talked him through how to get off and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it was like a light bulb went off. It was on like Donkey Kong. He was all over the place. In fact, they both ended up going to the highest level and doing the zip line. And by the time they were done, they were having so much fun. In fact, he said that out of all the activities, that was probably his favorite. And that just made my day. that they both overcame that fear. They both were like, I'm afraid of heights. I'm afraid of heights. Of course, I'm like, so when we were on the 12th story of the hotel, huh? I'm like, yeah. Don't tell me you're afraid of heights when you're looking out the window at a 12th story, right? Joyce, yay. I'm glad you got yours. Yay, yay, yay. Suzette, good to see you. What's up, girl? All right. Perfect, perfect. Almost around the bottom is done. I think I have, what, 2 more to do around the bottom. Then we're going to start around the top. This is where it all starts to come to life. You know, you get that base. A little hint for those of you that are doing a lot of things for upcoming craft shows, to do a time saver. If you have someone that can cut your mesh for you ahead of time, or if you've got time and you can, you know, sit in front of the TV or whatever, you know how you bring your yarn ball of yarn and knit or crochet in front of the TV, do wreath bases. Just put a bunch of wreath bases together. And then when you're ready to design, all you do is grab a base and start adding the color to it, right? All right, so here is the wreath base with just the outer rim of ribbon to it. So just the outer. Now we're going to start adding it to the top. And I always do the outer one first, because if I do the top first, that means it's going to be in my way to do the bottom section, the outer rim. So I would have to move it just to get to the bottom. So I always start with the bottom. And now I don't have to move anything out of the way. There we go. There we go. There we go. What's up? Happy, oh my gosh, you guys, today is Friday, isn't it? I'm so excited and scared because I got so much that I want to get done before tomorrow. It'll all happen. It always does. All right, this is coming together. This one, so we've got 10 on the outer rim, outer frame, and 8 on the top. So we've got 6 more to go. And let's see what happens next. Okay, good deal. I see a couple of names pop up that I'm like, am I on the right page? Because they're my personal friends. Not that they can't come watch me on Facebook or YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, hey, hey, give me a holler. As always, I love to hear where you guys are from. My favorite, and do you know how many people have connected because we do that? Oh, you live right down the road from me, or something along that lines. Whoops. Recently, I just did a post the other day and did a roll call. Of course, I know Ginny, you know that you're here in Illinois. There's a few people, but I live in central Illinois. But I found out a couple of my followers, a couple of people I didn't know that lived in Illinois that follow me here on Facebook. So that's fun. Iowa started working on the wreath kit last night. Linda, awesome. Don't forget to tag me in it. Post a picture of it and then hashtag festive wreath kit. So I can go back and see how yours, what design you went with, because we all have a different vision and we all have a different style. And so it's fun to see different ways that people envision their inspiration and designs. So be sure to tag me in it. This is definitely screaming Halloween. Look at the orange and the purple and the black all coming together. And then, of course, nothing says Halloween more than the black cat. Right. Look at our little cat. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so let me get some black. Where's some black? Pipe cleaners. And I do have black pipe cleaners in the shop. So if you need some for the upcoming season, I have several colors: black, brown, red, navy blue, white. Just look under tools at festivecreationsbystephanie.com and you can throw some of those in your cart if you're getting low on pipe cleaners. It's like a staple item, right? All right, so I'm going to turn that over and we're going to add a pipe cleaner to those cable tie mounts that we added earlier. And then the big decision is where we're going to place our sign. But don't forget, we have this fun witch's hat that's going to go, witch's hat pick that's going to go on our design too. Hey, hey, hey. Yes, so the wreath kit of the month, I pinned a link to it down below. We only had 4 or 5 available before I went live. This is a subscription. So when you sign up to get the wreath kit of the month, that means that you're agreeing to a new one every month until you cancel. And of course you can cancel at any time, but ooh, I kind of like it there. I'm just envisioning, look how fun that is popping off of there. I know I've got a little bit of glare on there. We could go in the center, but I also think too, how I'm going to do the rest. If I'm going to do a bow, my bow is going to take up some space over here. So I don't want it dead center. And then adding these witches hats, I want the witches hats to be standing up. You know, I don't want them to be upside down. So I'm kind of spreading this out a little bit. And this is going to actually become a part of my bow. So if we do a little bit higher there, do a nice bow right here, and we could do a small bow, nothing real big over the top. Let's see what we come up with. Yes, yes, yes. Get creative. Just get creative. I think right in here is going to be a nice spot though, for me, for where my vision is going. So I'm going to put these pipe cleaners down through the mesh and get them attached, get this sign attached to our frame. Oh, wrong one. Okay. Look at all of you. Hopefully, let me know in the comments what's your plans for the weekend. Give me some ideas and inspiration besides cheer tomorrow all day. That's going to be all day tomorrow. Heather, Emma and I will be along with the rest of the cheer team at a location that's a little over an hour away, and it's an all-day event. They call it a jamboree. So she and all the other girls will be cheerleading for multiple games tomorrow. She will be one tired puppy, let me tell you. And then they're going to their grandpa's, so I'll have them all wore out before they go to grandpa's house. I'm sure he will appreciate it. But they miss seeing their grandpa. They actually, that's where they lived, was in their grandpa's home with their mom and their grandpa before their mom passed away. So it's important that they keep that connection. And they usually get to go over there. if we're not busy or don't have other plans, they're over at their grandpa's at least 2 to 3 times a month. Hey, Regina, what's up, girl? Sylvia, do the opposite. Do exclamation point first and then notify. No spaces. Exclamation point first and then notify. And that will, Facebook will notify you when I'm live. Or did it work? I saw a message pop up. Did that work with that? There you go. Okay, perfect. Before I go crazy, and I don't cut any of this off until I know, I try not to at all, but I want to make sure that it is sitting good, and I'm good with that. So if I shake this, is it going to move around? No, it's nice and stable there. So I'm just going to continue to tighten it down a little bit more, but I try not to cut off any, because lessons have taught me that, especially when I was first starting out, what if I need to move it later on, or it shifted because I didn't have it seated well, or I've learned to put like the pipe cleaners across the crossbars of the frames and things like that to keep it from shifting. But back then I didn't know that. And so, I'd have it hanging in storage and then I'd go and get it back out and it had shifted down and I had cut off the pipe cleaners, and so I had nothing to work with. Nothing. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yes. All right. We've got our sign on there. Let's put him, her, it back here for a moment. I love it. And let's look at making a bow. Or 2, even. All right, so this little guy, where I lose it all, this little guy is going to have our pick in it. And I am probably going to try and keep the pick entirely intact. So I want to have a longer stem for right now. For this, we're going to be using that 3rd roll of ribbon that came in our wreath kit of the month. And I just need some ribbon tail. So I'm going to make about a 6, 7, 8-inch ribbon tail here. And we're going to use a 6-inch loop. And we're going to do 3 loops on each side. All at 6 inches. Three and a tail. So what we're going to do is we're going to spread this out a little bit. And this fabric is super nice to work with. It's nice and thick. It's not slick at all. It's a nice fabric to work with. All right, so we're just going to kind of spread that out. So now we have this nice, beautiful, round base that we're working with. Let's do this way. All right, before I go any further, though, we're going to go ahead and add our, there we go. Look at that. Look at that. So we're going to put that right down in there. And we'll spread it out, but I want to kind of give you that vision. And this has got some nice thick wires on it, so it's going to hold its shape really well. So we're going to add that in there. Now we're going to come up with the next layer. And this one, we're going to come in a little bit shorter. So about 5 inches. And for this, we're just going to need 2 loops on each side at about 5 inches each. Two loops, and then of course we have that tail. If you are watching on YouTube with me right now, don't worry, I will be coming back and responding to comments later. So if you have questions or anything, be sure to post them. I just can't monitor both Facebook and YouTube at the same time when I'm live. I don't have that extra set of eyes on me right now. All right. Now at this particular point, depending on what you want to do, you can actually bring your orange back in and just add a dab of color. So what I mean by that is I'm going to take about a 12-inch strip. I'm going to dovetail it here. And I'm just going to find the halfway point, and I'm going to bring it in right here. So that brings that orange a little bit closer to the top without being overwhelming. So anytime, if you're looking for that contrasting color, don't feel like you have to put 1, 2, 3 loops on the next layer. You can just simply put a couple of flat, just like this, or you could do 2 of them and do a crisscross or whatever, but it doesn't have to be another loop. Same way with your top one. It doesn't have to be an overwhelming loop. So for this one, I'm going to dovetail the end. And I'm going to make this a little bit, oh, hang on a second. Remember, this is going to be the top of it. So I'm going to bring down a little bit of a tail, but I'm just going to give it a small loop in the center. Right there. And because I have that pick in here, I will be using a zip tie for sure to bring this all together. And then we're going to add a piece of floral wire, wherever I put it, there it is, on the back side so that we can attach it to our wreath frame. All right, so bring it back to an angle where I can manage it. My zip tie right underneath here. Don't come up too much, Stephanie. And I moved that, so let's put that back. So I'm just going to bring my zip tie just on the side of those dowel rods. Bring it in, and before I completely tighten it, I want to make sure that everything is still right where I want it to be. So don't tighten it completely until you make sure that none of your ribbon is crinkled or, misaligned. Definitely I want that pick to be caught in there. And there's the other end of the pick. Super fun. And there we go. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and tighten that well, not totally. Before I tighten it completely, I'm going to slide in that floral wire, and that's what we will use to attach it to the frame. As tight as I possibly can. We're going to get that zip tie as tight as I can because I don't want any of this to come out. Then once I have it tightened down, I'm just going to snip off the excess zip tie, and we're ready to attach to our frame. What do you think? So far, so good? Let's bring our wreath back up here and see what happens when we add our bow. Yes, please. Oh, yes. Love it. Okay. Let me get it attached, and then we'll start fluffing. So I'm just going to feed that floral wire down through the mesh. Can you guys hear him singing? I can still hear him, but he's not near as loud as he was earlier. Thank you, Teresa. Make sure I'm where I want to be back here. I have to make sure I'm around the frame. If I can grab a crossbar, that's even better. And I think I'm close to one. Yes, I am. Good deal. This probably is a very awkward position for the camera. There we go. Okay. Well, I'm going to move that one up a little bit. Friends, it's only like 74 here in Illinois today, or at least central Illinois. It is so pretty, like open your windows kind of day. And who would think that in August? And our state fair just started yesterday. So that means that it should be the hottest days of the year, because our state fair in Illinois is during the first full week of August. It starts on Thursday, runs 10 days. And it's always the hottest time of year. Oh my gosh. But it's gorgeous out today. Okay, let me get this pushed back in there. No. Let's take and spread this out. Get it shifted where I want it to be. And I like to start at the bottom. One thing with using a zip tie is I'm not afraid to get in there and really like make my ribbon behave. Like put it where I want it to be and get it shifted around so that it's all fluffed out nice and pretty. Now, this way. See how just adding that one extra layer of 12-inch, that's 12-inch strip, brought that orange a little bit closer to the top. And then that is in the center. Now the only thing is you'll notice that this witch's hat is being hidden. So I'm going to shorten this up a little bit. I want it peeking out. I don't need it to be like the main thing, but I want it to be noticed. So I'm just going to shorten that ribbon up in front of it. And the other thing too, when I am designing, is I like to have the elements touching each other, not necessarily sitting on top of each other. So the best way I know it, I don't remember which designer said it, but they said holding hands, not married. Do you understand the difference? Holding hands, so it's like barely touching, barely connecting, and it looks like they're joined together. So now we don't have a separate entity. So the difference being it's more uniform. And that was something that I also wish I knew, have a string. I wish I knew when I first started out, because I felt like my designs were awkward, and that was why I was missing that piece. Holding hands, not married. So we don't want it on top of it, distracting from here. Is it Frank? Where do you live, Frank? Hey, Sharota, how are you? Or Mary. Okay, good deal. All right, so love this, but I do want a little something up here. Nothing really major, but I do want a little bit of something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of this ribbon and I'm going to cut about 24 inches. Let me see if 24 is going to work for me. I'm going to dovetail it. And I'm going to do what's called a cheater bow. So a cheater bow is just that. Because we already have the ribbon tails in here, I may not have to do as much, but I'm just going to take that 24 inches, fold it in half, and Delaware. Oh, Felton, Delaware. But yeah, Delaware, I can imagine, can be very moody. That's the word I was looking for. I won't tell you about all the other words that went through my head. Moody. July. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to take this little guy off there and I'm going to put in that little loop right there. Okay. Then I actually probably can lay this right on top of it, but I want to do another 22 inches of the purple one. Dovetail it. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pinch it off. We're going to give it some ribbon tail. It's a little bit more than halfway, but I'm going to bring both of those tails forward and we're going to go opposite of my first loop. So there's a loop here. I laid that there. I'm going to come over here and put a loop. And now we've made a little cheater bow. So it looks more cohesive. We don't need an over-the-top bow over here. This one's like a focal point. We've got our witches' hats and our stars and all that fun stuff here. So I didn't want this to be like take over the show, but I wanted it to be more cohesive. And I'm super, super loving that. I'm loving this. So again, my bow is just holding hands with my sign, not married, not blocking it, not distracting it, but holding hands with it. How about that? Chrissy Boomer, how are you, my friend? What do you think? What do you think? Look at that beauty. I love it. Let's bring it on up here. Actually, I think what we'll do is stick it on this wall today so that I can zoom in on it a little bit easier. Oh, that cat has got the attitude. Sharota, thank you, Mary. Is it Mary? I'm guessing. I keep saying Sharota because that's first on the Facebook, but let's bring it on up here. So wreath kit of the month, August wreath kit of the month. There we go. That's my version of the August wreath kit of the month. And I can't wait to see how you do yours. And as I said, when I went live, there was only 4 or 5 available left for the month. I mean, so we don't get very many openings. We have to order so far in advance. So we guess. We say, well, we might be able to sell this many. And every month it's sold out. So every month we get a few extra because maybe somebody's canceled their subscription for whatever reason, but the cancellations don't happen very often. So we stay at max every month. So once people sign up, they very, very rarely cancel. So the next go around, and we have to order 6 months in advance. So the next go around, we did increase it, but we're not there yet. That won't happen until January. But look at that. Yes, Chris, is it? No, not next weekend. The 24th, girl. 24th, not next weekend. Please say not next weekend. Well, wait a minute. It depends on what you're going to come see us for. You know us, we're always busy, girl. We're always busy. So depending on what you're going to come see. Friends, this was fun. I can't wait to take pictures of it. And this is definitely going in the craft show, the vendor shows that I've got coming up at the end of September and October. Beginning of October. So They will love this one around here. All right, friends. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching. If you were able to snag one of those wreath kits, there's my version. Don't forget to hashtag festive wreath kit so I can see your version of it as well. And I will catch you next week. I'll be off this weekend. Have a great one. Hey, Kim, you too, girl. Have a good one.